So next in this segment, we'll do the Ask FM questions. Phil, read them out.
All right. First of all, I got to reestablish something. You must leave your name in the question.
Or don't answer anonymously, one or the other. Leave your name or just be like known.
Right. There are 2 anonymous questions. I'm going to do this for this time and this time only. If Markeem and the rest decide they want to answer them, if not, we can just.
Or if it's a stupid question, then.
All right. Well, the first one is anonymous. It's who should the Cleveland Browns draft if they want a quarterback?
Okay, that wasn't stupid. Good job. But next time, put your name.
All right. We're gonna take this in multiple ways. Obviously, if the Cleveland Browns wanted to, they would draft Bridgewater, but that might not be available. So, aside from Bridgewater, we'll presume that Cleveland gets a top 10 pick. Who would you draft, Markeem? Irrelevant of who's there. If Bridgewater's gone.
Okay. I wouldn't draft anyone, but if who's left, I guess you got no choice but to go Manziel if you really want a quarterback. The people left because
it would have been Marcus Mariota, but
it would have been Mariota, maybe Hundley. But I guess you got to go Manziel or Morris. But
I think
I would go Manziel because there's less question marks about him. So I go Manziel.
Here's what I would do if I was the Cleveland Browns. I would pick something else because it doesn't say first round. So.
Word.
They have 2 first round picks. Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't say first round in the question, so I would just say they draft one, but they draft one late, and I would go with like a guy like what's Big Rat's butt buddy?
Stephen Morris.
Stephen Morris, and then also maybe Aaron Murray, but that's too late. I think you got to take one before him.
Yeah, get Aaron Murray late if he's still there.
Yeah, I agree with both of these guys. Cleveland has a 2 first rounders thanks to the idiocy of
Redskins.
Thanks to the idiocy of the Colts. Yes.
I agree. That was stupid.
So I would take an elite talent with that first pick. Take a Jake Matthews and Anthony Barr, whoever's there, and then with that second first round pick, which will probably be in the early to mid 20s. I'm sure because once Bridgewater's gone, in my opinion,
It's going to be a while before we see another quarterback.
In my opinion, once Bridgewater's gone, also you have Johnny Football, Aaron Murray, A.J. McCarron, Stephen Morris, Taj Boyd. Those guys are all kind of on the same level, in my opinion. No one's really a standout of that group. So I think you don't have to waste an early first round pick.
Yeah, it's kind of like pick your poison. You never know who's going to really shine out of that group.
Each one of them have glaring issues. So yeah.
So I mean, if it were me, I don't pick a quarterback till later in the first round. But if I had to pick one, I mean, I would pick Stephen Morris. But my bias. If I had to put my bias aside and pick someone else, I would pick Aaron Murray just because of how he's looked this year. He's looked amazing this year, honestly. And Johnny Football and A.J. McCarron, in my opinion, while both had good seasons, both still have question marks about them. That for Aaron Murray, at least me, after watching him this year, I have much less questions about him than I do about the other 2.
He has addressed a lot of problems people have with him. But I think his leg is also an issue. I mean, it's worth pointing out. And, he's a risk, but it is what it is.
By the way, the Jags currently have the longest win streak in the AFC. I did not know that.
Yeah, the Jacksonville Jaguars have now won 4 of 5 games. So
wow. 4 in a row. So
4 in a row, yes. Their only loss being to the possibly playoff-bound Arizona Cardinals, and they put up a fight. They lost by 14, but they put up a fight if you actually watch the game.
Okay, but no, don't be anonymous. Moving on to the next question. This might make Markeem mad. Maybe we might want to wait till the offseason to talk about this, but someone asked, is RG3 a bust? No name there.
Next time, put your name. So I can point. No, I'm just kidding. But is it a fair question? I guess kind of because how bad he's been this year. But I think it's too early to tell.
Yeah, too early.
Like last year it didn't happen. So yeah.
Right. That's what I would say. Big Rat?
Yeah. I also agree that it's fair. I mean, I think the reason is people see in RG3 what they saw with Vince Young and all these other famous running quarterbacks when they have a great breakout first season. And the quote is, like Greg Rosenwald talked about this also earlier today. For these quarterbacks, when you take away their athleticism, that's when they really get challenged. And there are some quarterbacks like Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck, Cam Newton, who, when their more so Russell Wilson and Cam Newton, when their athleticism was taken away, they found ways to get it done in the pocket. And so far, RG3 and Kaepernick have struggled a little bit. And that's why people are asking, is RG3 just another Vince Young? Is he just another super athletic guy that when it comes time to step back and throw, he can't do it? And last year, I said this all of last year, and I got shit for it. RG3 almost never threw the goddamn ball. If you look at his stats, it was almost incredible how little passing attempts he had last year. I think he was like 28th in the NFL or something like that. So it's understandable for people to think that maybe he can't survive just staying in the pocket. And if you can't survive in the pocket, you can't survive in the NFL. But I don't think so. I think he has too much transcendental talent, and I think he's a really hard worker, and I think that if he does have an issue in the pocket, he'd fix it. I wouldn't call him a bust. I still think he's a franchise quarterback, even though people think I hate the guy.
Yeah, y'all know what I think already. I'm just saying,
Right.
It's a fair question. It is.
But I think all I have to say is basically
I hate you for asking it, guy, but it's a fair question.
but it's too early to tell. So now the guy that I want to hug, yes, I just said that. The guy I want to hug, Aaron. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Aaron Pulliam. He asked 2 questions and he
That's
left
my
it.
nigga right there.
And he left his name. He was the first 2 we got. Then we got those other 2 later. I think probably after I said these questions I said that on Twitter or whatever. So yeah, follow me on Twitter. Follow others on Twitter. They're going to plug it as well. So first question is: if Michigan State plays Stanford in the Rose Bowl, do you think it'll be a low-scoring, gritty matchup?
Oh, nigga. That's an understatement. Like, yo, I'm gonna be real with you. I have no idea how Michigan State could even score. Like, at all. I have no idea how that's even gonna happen. I don't know how they would pull that off. I'm curious to see that just for that reason. And
You're curious to see a game that might end 6-3?
Yeah, I am. It's like 2 of the most like similar teams in all of college football. That's my dream. I want to see that. That's what I want to see. I hope that happens. That's like a perfect matchup because they're like the same team, except Stanford got a better quarterback.
That usually means that Stanford would win.
Yeah.
All right.
That's exactly what it would be.
Good. Next question, Phil.
Next question. Okay, last question. Same guy, Aaron Pulliam. Or Pulliam. That's what I'll pronounce it. Do you think if Auburn or Missouri makes the national title game, do you think that they have a shot at beating Florida State? Not necessarily that they win or anything, but
time out. This needs to be said.
What?
When the Jacksonville Jaguars won today, that was their first home win in a year.
Mediocrity at its finest.
Hey, they've won 4 of 5. Don't count out the Jaguars.
To play spoiler? No, I won't.
They might beat the Colts in week 17. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. The Jaguars are definitely playing better of the 2 right now.
That's true.
All right,
But to answer your question, Phil, yes. I think that if you come out of the SEC in any way, shape, or form, you are formidable. So, yeah, they can give anybody a fight.
And I would agree. I would definitely agree with that. I think that Auburn and Missouri has just looked strong. They only had really 1 bad game against my Gamecocks.
I don't even think it was a bad game. I just think they lost.
Well, that's true. That
was a great game. Like, both teams played amazing. That was a great game.
And they led early in the game, so, you can say whatever you want about that. But, yeah, I mean, like you said, you come out the SEC, you get respect. I don't care. I'm not SEC dick rider or anything.
I mean, it's the best conference in the country, man. Like, I know I downplay it a lot, but it is. I think motherfuckers is overhyping it. But it's the best conference in the country. Not debatable.
This is the Houston Texans' final 3 games. At Indianapolis. At
Nigga,
home.
why are we talking about the Texans
stop,
so much?
Dude, stop.
Oh my God. you are distracting.
I'm not distracting. I'm just a depressed fan. But anyways, keep going.
All right, that's it for the ask questions. Thanks, guys.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you. Ask more.
Yes, I'll post a link. We really appreciate this. Please keep them coming. You guys there?
Yeah, we're
All
good.
right. So yeah,
If y'all wondering why we talking about the Texans, like this video is split into 2 parts.
Hey, shh! Don't break.
I mean, no, it's gonna be weird anyway, because
don't break kayfabe.
It's gonna be weird anyway, man.
How's it gonna be weird? They have no way of telling.
But we're gonna be talking about come on. I think we talk about shit. Anyway, let's just go. Let's just go.
Nothing happened in the past 2 days. Fuck you.
Someone just said J.J. Watt and Clowney together would be scary to even think about.
That would be ridiculous. Oh my Jesus!
But they need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, you can get one later.
You get that, you're in any game. I don't care.
Get them, and then they can draft Johnny Football.
It's not horrible. All right, so we got a lot of big games this week. This is probably the biggest weekend of the year for college football, just because the national title game and the championship of all the major conferences are going to be decided. So it's pretty significant. The NFL, there's some pretty important games, but I wouldn't call it a huge weekend. But there's a lot of big games in the NFL too. It's one of the better NFL weekends. And as usual, per the rule, there's a lot of big games this week. The week's probably going to suck. It's just how it goes. But we'll go with it as we go along. Let's start with the NFL this time because the college football games are very big this week. So
either way is fine. It's a lot of good games this week. So
good lineup. So we'll start with the NFL. What should be the NFL around the league guys, who I mention a lot, they talked about this, and they're right, though, that Colts-Bengals really should be a huge game because the winner of this game, A, is probably going to get the 3 seed, and B, maybe fighting for the 2 seed. But none of us really care because of how bad the Colts have looked, and the Bengals are inconsistent as hell. So, Markeem, give us your first initial reaction thoughts to this game.
I'm kind of on the same page. Much I love Andrew Luck, he has not played well, and the Colts defense has played terrible. And I don't know what to make of the Bengals each week. Some weeks, fucking that guy Andy Dalton. And some weeks he like Steve Young, and then other weeks he like Steve Carmichael or some shit like that. It's just pretty bad.
Steve Carmichael.
That's just somebody I made up. I don't know. But he, I don't know what to expect. It's like he becomes too reliant on AJ Green, and then they don't move the ball because he's just throwing the ball over at people's head, and he's just rattled, and I don't know. Like, I don't know what to make of him. But I mean, in terms of this game, I think the Colts win just because they cannot be as bad as they've been for.
Hello, Phil.
What?
Yep.
Markeem, you kind of cut out there.
What's wrong? What happened?
You cut out. I would just repeat what you just said.
All right, what's the last thing you heard?
He didn't cut out for me.
Oh, well, he cut out for me, and I'm the one recording, so...
Shut up. We're being a daggum genius.
We're still recording, so just repeat what you were saying about Andrew Luck. You said Andy Dalton relies too much on Reggie Wayne, on AJ Green. He overthrows people. That's where he cut off for me.
Yeah. And I think that in terms of this game, the Colts, I think they just win because they can't be this bad for this long. Like, sooner or later, this team is too talented not to get it together at some point. Again, not to adapt to losing Reggie Wayne. The defense, I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, it's just weird. But I think they just get it together this week and they take care of business and they win on the road. And I ain't just saying that because I love Andrew Luck.
Wow.
Yeah. I ain't saying that just because I love Andrew Luck. I just think they can't be as bad as they've been. It just can't happen.
Wow, I'm generally surprised by that. Phil?
I got the Bengals. I just think the Bengals are going to pull this off. I don't think that offensive line is going to be able to block for Andrew Luck in this game. I think he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. And he's just, sorry, Markeem, but playing a little down lately. But
I know.
And
he's been bad.
Right, and so I'll just go with that. I'll just go with the Bengals. I ain't got much more to say.
Wow. But like I said earlier, this is a second-year quarterback that just lost his number one target and probably the leader of that team.
Right, he's right. And all I can say is y'all can still suck it, Reggie Wayne.
No, quiet, Phil. Let's put Reggie Wayne and Victor Cruz on each other's teams, and then let's see how that goes.
Reggie Wayne, Eli Manning.
I don't think it matters this year.
Yeah,
Eli Manning has been so bad.
Yeah, Reggie Wayne can't catch interceptions.
God damn it! All right, I'm the one that predicted the Colts to win the 2 seed, so I completely understand Markeem's reservations on the Colts and how they can't be this bad. I predicted them to win the 2 seed. I have them beating the Chiefs, the Jaguars, and the Texans to close out the season. But I do have the Bengals winning this week. I just think the Bengals are a lot better team at home. Andy Dalton in particular, a lot of his struggles where he looks like a terrible quarterback really have been on the road. If you look at it, whether it be the Chargers game, the Dolphins game,
every game minus the Patriots game this year, he's looked good at home. So
yes. And like I said, it was. I'm just trying to remember them all. Dolphins, Chargers. What was the other one? The Ravens game. That was the one that came to mind. Yeah, when he's at home, I mean, let's not forget, I think the dude's overrated as hell, but he did throw for 5 touchdowns against the Jets at home. Like, when he's at home, he's a lot better of a quarterback. And the Colts have just looked bad lately. I know they won last week. The week before, they got killed by Arizona. And then they barely beat the Titans the week before that. And the week before that, they got murdered by the Rams. Chris Wessling said it best. They no longer look like Super Bowl contenders. They don't even look like a playoff team. The past 4 weeks, they've looked like a bad NFL team. They look like a team that's going to be drafting high. And he's right. That's how they've looked the past 4 weeks. But I do think that will change just because their schedule is going to easy out as the year goes on. But I do have the Bengals winning. They're just a lot better team at home. And I don't know. I trust the Colts too. I trust Andrew Luck just as much as Markeem does, but I just can't see it this time.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Not as much as me, but I see what you're saying.
Really? Because I have him in the ACC Championship Game. You don't.
I know you do, but you know how I feel about that.
I'm not saying
you know how I feel about that boy.
I'm not saying I like him as much as you. I say I trust him as much as you. There's a difference. Come on, man. No. Anyways, I'll go last on this next one. Dolphins at Steelers. Phil, start it out.
Dolphins and Steelers. So yeah, as you guys know, I had the Dolphins, of course, making the playoffs as that 6th seed. So I think they win this game. I think that they need to win this game. If they lose this game, I'm probably gonna already regret my pick. But like I said, got to stick with the Dolphins winning this game. I look the Steelers' remaining schedule. I've got them losing almost all their games, and it's hard to say to think that the Steelers will do that. So let's just hope that they lose this one and they can win the rest of them. I don't care, but I got them losing this one. And this is in Pittsburgh, so it could be,
Markeem?
All right, regardless of what happens in this game, regardless of what happens for the rest of the season, the Steelers need to clean out. They need to clean house because this is running.
Fire Mike Tomlin?
Well, I don't know about fire Mike Tomlin. I'm talking about the personnel. They have ran its course. Like the way this team is constructed, I don't think they'll ever win anything meaningful again. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think even if they make the playoffs, they're early out. I mean, it's just no point in even really discussing them anymore. I think Mike Tomlin's a phenomenal coach. I just think they need to move in another direction. Maybe keep Big Ben because you ain't gonna find much like him. You know what I mean? But the rest of the team, the rest of these niggas, they all can go. That's just how I feel. Like the defense, especially, all those guys are just beat up. Like Troy Polamalu's playing out of position. This nigga plays like linebacker now. It's just it's time for a change. But with that being said, I think the Dolphins win here. I think that they just I just think they find a way to get it done. I think they get to Big Ben, hit him a lot. He makes a couple mistakes, and Ryan Tannehill, who is an insanely clutch quarterback that does not get the credit he deserves for being as clutch as he is, he gets it done on the road at Heinz Field. As crazy as that sounds, I think that happens, and I think the Dolphins win a close game on the road.
I'm trying to process that statement you just said. Does not get the credit he deserves, going to get it down the road. Insane statement to say. Damn. You used to hate this guy. I remember when we drafted him and you were just like, kid.
Because he's at A&M, he sucked. Like, it was that. So at A&M, he was terrible.
I guess it's my turn. Yeah, I wouldn't call this a hero pick, but I'm actually going to be the only one picking against my team when both of my podcast mates picked my team. With no real reason. I actually have a feeling that we're going to win, but not strong enough that I'll pick them. Yeah, I know the Steelers' defense is overrated, and whatchamacallit, their offensive line is very shaky, and our defensive line is amazing. I know all these things. But honestly, at the end of the day, if the Steelers lose this game, they are done for the season, and they know that. And I think that they're too good of a team to lose 3 in a row. They've currently, or not 3. Is it 3 in a row? If it's not 3 in a row, it's 2 in a row. It's 3 out of 4 is what I mean. They're too good of a team to be 5-8. Yes, I agree with Markeem. I think this team is not going to be winning anything anytime soon. I think this team is relying too much on their older players. They don't really have any new talent on that defense aside from Jarvis Jones. Ike Taylor, Ryan Clark, Troy Polamalu, these guys have been there for a while. I can't see them doing anything meaningful in the future. But At the end of the day, though, that team still does have a lot of leadership. That team still does have a lot of veteran presence on the field. And I just think those guys are too good. Mike Tomlin and Big Ben in particular, I think are too talented to go 5-8. And I just can't trust this team. I've said this many times. This is that time of the season where I get very excited that the Dolphins are in the playoff hunt, and then they burn me. This happens every fucking year. And I really just don't want to get burnt again. I'm really just done with it. I'm tired of getting burnt. I think the Dolphins team is more talented. I think they have all the tools to win this game, but I can't see it. Can't see it. Can't see it. I just think that the Bengals are going. I mean, the Steelers in particular are just going to get it done because they have better leaders, they have better coaches than the Dolphins do, and I just think they're going to outsmart us. I think Tannehill, he's in a good position now to have a big breakout game, but I'll believe it when I see it. I can't trust this team. I want to. I really badly want to. I can't. Just can't. So unfortunately, I got the Steelers in this one. Hopefully I'll be singing a different tune next week. Next we got, Markeem, go last on this one. Lions at Eagles. I'll start this one off. This one's a tough one for me. I'm gonna very tentatively pick the Eagles, only because I just don't think the Lions are. I think the Lions are kind of overrated, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't even make the playoffs. That team is just dumb. That team is just dumb. We've talked about this for a while, but you can't trust dumb teams. As talented as Stafford is, as talented as Calvin Johnson is, as talented as Ndamukong Suh, Nick Fairley, Reggie Bush, they're just dumb. They're dumb. They have bad coaching. They make stupid decisions, and they're terrible on the road because of it. So yeah, I got the Eagles here winning this one, unless the Lions' defensive line like really fucks up Nick Foles and he doesn't start playing like Nick Foles 2.0. I got the Lions here. Phil?
I got the Eagles.
I mean, I meant to say I got the Eagles.
I thought that was I also got the Eagles. Not much to say here. I think Nick Foles is balling right now, and I think he should get it done. And it's in Philly.
It's in Philly. Yeah.
It's in Philly, so they'll probably struggle a little bit, but so we'll see how it goes. But I got the Eagles.
I cannot pick the Lions, as y'all already know.
I forgot about this.
That's right. I always forget every time.
Even if I could, I don't think I would here. Nick Foles is on an unreal tear right now. I don't know if he's our future, but damn it, he's our present, and I'm all right with that. That dude is just insanely hot, and I got to roll with the hot hand until somebody prove me. I might pick them for the rest of the season until they lose. Like for it, no, he's so hot right now, so I might pick them from here on out until he loses. Until he loses, then I'll change shit up. But
question: Is Michael Vick back on this team next year as a backup?
Hell no.
As a backup.
No. I'm telling you, no. He's gone.
What if he wants to be a backup?
I don't care what he wants to do. He's gone.
I'm saying if he wants to be a backup and he does not want to be an NFL starter anymore.
He is definitely gone.
Really? That confident?
Yeah, and unless this is the only way. Unless he straight up takes the league minimum.
Wow.
It's the only way.
You hate him.
No, it has nothing to do with hate. It's being real.
Okay. I'll trust you on that one. All right. Next we got the Rams at the Cardinals. Tough one. Cardinals have been on a roll lately. But Markeem, who do you got in this one?
I got the Cardinals. They're a better team. Let's go.
Philip.
You go first.
I got the Cardinals as well. Would not be surprised at all if the Rams win here. I just can't trust Kellen Clemens against that defense, personally.
I got the Rams, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I think
Markeem, is this one a hero pick?
Nah, it's too close. Well, Rams aren't in the playoff hunt, and the Cardinals are. But
let's give him one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got the Rams in this one. I think I like the Rams defense a good bit, and I think the Cardinals are just gonna. I don't know. I'm just not impressed yet. They've been playing, not bad teams, so I'm not gonna say they're not only beating, they're beating scrubs, but I just don't. I don't believe the Cardinal hype right now, so I think the Rams pull this one off.
Nice.
And the Rams have done good against, the top opponents, in the. The Colts, they beat the Colts, really destroyed the Colts. And then you got, other teams that I've seen. I'm trying to look at it right here. I remember they played somebody really close. They're 5-7, so I don't think that they're some kind of scrub team either. They lost to Carolina. They were right there with Seattle. They're right there with Tennessee. So I think that the Rams are close. They just really need a quarterback and an offense. I think their defense is there. They just need an offense. Atlanta early in the season when Atlanta was still okay. So, and then they lost to San Fran last week, but not that was also close. So, and they creamed Chicago. So they creamed Chicago and Indianapolis back to back. So,
fair enough. I understand the pick. I just like the Cardinals a little better, but I understand. I would not be surprised at all if the Rams win here. Next we have Seahawks at 49ers. Pretty big game. Philip, who wins this one?
Seahawks, easy.
Wow.
Yeah, easy. Yeah, I don't think the Seahawks struggle. They're on a huge high right now. I think that could make them slip up, but I don't think the Seahawks are that kind of team. 49ers just don't have that talent. Maybe Crabtree makes that big of a difference. I don't know. I don't think Harbin's starting in this game, so on the other side. But I'm just telling you, I think the Seahawks are on a roll right now. They're not going to lose at the 49ers.
Marquis?
This is a tough one. The Seahawks kind of annihilated them earlier in the season. Kind of changed. Yeah, kind of changed Colin Kaepernick's whole season. So, man, you know what? This is just a gut feeling, man. But I think the Niners win here. I think that they split. I don't think the Seahawks beat them twice. It's just be weird. You know what I mean? I think they just split the season series and let's get ready for the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Huh.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
To me, this one isn't that tough. To me, I got the Niners. Listen, like I've always talked about, the difficulty in the NFL is to expect the unexpected. And right now, the expected is that the Seahawks are amazing. I really think they come down to earth this week. This is the same Seattle team that also, as good as they are, as good as these two teams are, this is the same Seattle team that looked terrible against the Rams and the Rams and the Panthers on the road. This Seattle team also looked bad at home against the Buccaneers and the Titans. I think they're a very good team, but I think people automatically saying that they're just this unformidable, guaranteed Super Bowl winner, I think are kind of off. And let's not discount the Niners. Niners last week looked super impressive with Crabtree back. Michael Crabtree's a big deal, not just because he's like a superstar or anything, but because when he's on the field, Anquan Boldin and Vernon Davis play a lot better. Anquan Boldin plays like the number 2 receiver that he is and plays amazing. And this 49ers offense, I think, is really underrated. I think they're getting a lot of hate, and I think people are going to see them get a lot better in the coming weeks.
They're getting the guys back for the playoffs, man. That's a big deal.
I got the Niners winning by 10 points. Calling it. I mean, maybe it'll be close, but I'm pretty convinced the 49ers win this one. Seahawks, I don't think Seahawks are going to sweep them. Niners are too good of a team. Jim Harbaugh's too good of a coach. All right. Next we got... What's next? Next we have Panthers Saints. All right, Phil, go first in this one again.
Panthers Saints. I think this one's also easy for me. I'm going with the Saints. I don't think the Panthers are going to go into New Orleans and hand New Orleans a loss. 1, at home. 2, I don't think it's going to happen because New Orleans just got ramshacked at Seattle. They want to
ramshacked. I like that word. They got ramshacked.
They just got ramshacked in Seattle, which not very many people.
I'm sorry, Phil said ramshacked.
That's all right. So I definitely go with the Saints in this game. I think that there's no way that the Panthers are going to sweep them, to my knowledge, anyways. And so that's why I got the Saints at home. Panthers will win. We'll get to the other game later, but a couple weeks. But I gotta go with the Saints. Saints. Drew Brees is not good. Drew Brees and Sean Payton can't let that happen 2 weeks in a row.
Marquis.
All right, I'm gonna be weird for a second. I know if y'all heard the preview, I picked the Saints to actually be the 2 seed, and I think it's gonna happen. But maybe I got to waffle on that a bit because I thinking the more I think about this game, the more I think the Panthers are just so hellacious on defense, man. It doesn't matter where they are, that's gonna show up. The X factor is Cam Newton in them, Cam Newton just does what he's been doing. It ain't broke. Do not try and fix it, Cam. I think they can beat everybody. Like I said, I think they will beat everybody. If y'all heard earlier. I got the Panthers, man. I just think that this is one of those type of games where we find out what this team is really made of. And I know they beat the Patriots. All that, I get all that. They were at home. It's on the road, and if not the toughest place, the second toughest place to play in all of football. I think they get it done.
You got the Panthers.
This is a statement game. I think they get it done. Yes.
I got the Panthers as well,
and I think Luke Kuechly has like one of the greatest games of any linebacker this season. This game.
Good Lord. Before Markeem yells at me, I'll just let him know that there's nothing he can do because I'm the host and I run things around here. But Matt Schaub tonight was.
Oh my God!
Oh my gosh!
No, this is funny though. You want to hear this? Matt Schaub was 17 of 29, 190 yards, a touchdown and interception, 75 quarterback rating. Case Keenum tonight was 16 of 29, 160 yards, touchdown, interception, 69 quarterback rating.
Okay.
They're both pretty much the same player. They don't play the same, but they give the same production. All right. So, now we got wow. And okay, I'll ignore that Texas news for later. Yeah, the Panthers, I'm different from these two. I think the Panthers are going to win the 2 seed. I've said it multiple times. Every time I see the Saints, they just don't impress me. They look sluggish. They don't show up in big games, and their defense is overrated. Because as good as Rob Ryan is, they still allow a lot of big plays in the secondary. That hasn't changed.
I don't give a damn though. He still should be commended to the highest regard for taking that team from what they used to be, they are now.
Yeah, he turned a terrible defense into a solid.
Solid one. Yeah, I mean a not embarrassing one.
That's fine and all, but their offense is also pretty overrated in my opinion. Yeah, Jimmy Graham's a stud, but Marcus Colston isn't quietly not having that good of a year, and Drew Brees hasn't had many success throwing it to the other receivers. He kind of relies on Jimmy Graham and the running backs. And, yeah, they put up points, but not as much as people think. The Seahawks have scored more points than them this season. And that's before Monday night's game. And the Seahawks, yeah, they're talented, but their offense was never otherworldly. Look at the games they've played. Most games they put up between 19 and 25 points. That's a normal offense. I just think the Seattle team's very overrated. I've thought this for a long time. That Monday night game didn't surprise me at all. I think Panthers win here. I think they're hot, and I think the Saints are emotionally hungover. I think they're just still like a little affected by this game. Twice this season, I've been told the emotionally hungover theory. The first was when the Niners lost to the Seahawks, got killed, and then they lost to the Colts at home. The other one was the Miami Hurricanes getting killed by FSU, and then getting killed at home by Virginia Tech. I think it happens again here, and I think the Saints just have never impressed me. Even that game against the 49ers, the Saints should have lost that game. They've never impressed me, not once all season. So I got the Panthers here winning, not like by 20 or anything, but I got them winning this game. And not handedly, but in my opinion, pretty clearly. I think they'll be the team that beats New Orleans at home. I'm calling it. So yeah, there's that. All right, last game.
Oh my Jesus.
What?
Go ahead.
By the way, Gary Kubiak just tweeted that he's considering starting Matt Schaub for the rest of the season. So that tells you all you need to know. Cowboys at Bears. Markeem.
Who gives a shit?
This game is pretty...
That is my prediction for the... You got the Cowboys who you can't trust, and you got the Bears who you can't trust. What am I going to do here?
Well, the loser of this game probably doesn't make the playoffs. It's pretty notable.
Okay, whatever. I mean, I guess the Cowboys, but whatever. Whatever, nigga.
Phil?
Your silence says it all, Phil. I feel you on that.
Exactly.
Markeem, it should be noted, this is the second time this year that you've completely buried a Cowboys primetime game. The first being
they're fucking Cowboys, man. They're an accident waiting to happen. To quote Stephen A., they are, though. That's what they are. They'll find a way to fuck shit up. Whatever you expect from them, they will do less than that. They will do the exact thing that's one step less. If you think they're going to make the Super Bowl, they're going to make the NFC Championship game. You think they're going to make the NFC Championship game, they're going in the divisional round. You think they're going to make the playoffs, they'll be ineligible the last week of the season. They're the Cowboys. That is what they do.
Phil?
I got the Cowboys. Moving on. Jay Cutler's store, and he's still over there sucking his thumb or something.
All right. In typical YouTube take fashion, I'll fix these idiots and their idiotic mentality. Even though they just buried the Cowboys, who I think are very underrated. Greg Rosenthal tweeted this.
You would. You said that same shit last year.
No, but Greg...
You said that... No, nigga, shut up. You said that same shit last
and
year.
I was... No.
And then at the end of the season, when they lost that game, you was like, you know what? It's the Cowboys. This is what they do. It's the Cowboys. I know, nigga. That's what they've done for years.
I remember what happened. They were 5-6 and third in the division. And I said they would win the division. And you guys were like, oh, please, it's Redskins-Giants. Everybody knows that. And I'm like, you watch. And the Giants made a great run in November and December. They won like 4 of 5 games in the last 5 weeks of the season, even though the Cowboys can't win in December. And they lost in Week 17, but that game was very close, and they had a lot of injuries. Dez Bryant and Jason Witten both couldn't walk after the game. So I think this team is underrated. And this year they're playing better. DeMarco Murray is playing great. The offense is playing really good, and the defense is, it's exactly what it was last year.
Heard it all before, kid.
Yes, because
they're the goddamn Cowboys.
I'm not saying. I had them going to the playoffs, but I'm just saying. Look, Greg Rosenthal tweeted after they beat the Raiders. This is the first time in a while where it feels like the Cowboys aren't underachieving. Take notice. But I got the Bears here. I think
I noticed they are very talented and they underachieve.
I knew he was going to do that.
I know. I'm going to pick the Bears here. Mark Trestman's a very good coach. I don't see him losing 2 in a row like this. And I just think the Bears' offense is really, really good, really underrated. They click on all cylinders. They're very fun to watch. And the Cowboys' defense is pretty bad. So that's why I have the Bears.
And that Bears' defense is overrated. Those niggas ain't very good either.
I don't think it's overrated. Everybody I know says they're terrible.
But I'm just saying, they have that stigma because they're the Bears and all. Yes. No, nigga, these niggas are bad this year. They're pretty bad.
They have a lot of injuries too. But yes, I got the Bears here as well. I think this game's gonna be a lot of fun actually. But I got the Bears winning this one.
Alshon Jeffrey is next up too next year. My God. God.
Alshon Jeffrey. Man, what college he went to?
Shut up, Phil.
The University of South Carolina.
Okay, so next we go to college football. We'll get the boring games out of the way first because college football sucks dick. We'll start off with Oklahoma at Oklahoma State. Analyst, what's your thoughts?
Don't do that.
Okay.
This is a weird game, man. Last week, a lot of motherfuckers that were supposed to get killed hung around. Some even won, Auburn. Yeah, a lot of people thought Auburn would go in there and die, and we saw what happened. Everything tells me Oklahoma State should destroy them. Here's a stat for you. Oklahoma State, well, not really a stat, but just some analysis for you. Oklahoma State and kills both of them.
You cut out. Repeat that point.
Okay. What's the last thing you heard?
Oklahoma State kills something.
Yeah. Oklahoma State killed Baylor and Texas. Oklahoma got killed by Baylor and Texas. I don't know what to think, man. Like, it's a rivalry game, but it's in Stillwater. And as I told y'all last week, or was that the week before? I think it was the week before now. As I told y'all, late note, well, now it's December, which is even worse. It is hard to play and win there. So I got to go, smart money, I got to go Oklahoma State. But I don't think it's going to be a destruction like everyone else thinks. I think it's going to be like a one-score game, come down to like the last few plays.
Philip?
What?
Philip.
What game is this?
Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State. You could see the excitement of college football sweeping through him.
No. I don't care.
What's your pick?
I got OSU.
Oklahoma State?
Yes.
Yeah, that's OSU, kid.
Yes.
Well, Bob Stoops sucks in big games, so I got Oklahoma State. Is that fair?
That is very fair. That's the fairest thing ever said.
Is he gonna get fired this year?
I don't know. My contact that I told y'all about earlier, he said that he thinks he's safe, but next year might be the year.
Okay. I mean, what more do you want? It's the same shit every year. It's the same 9-3, 10-2, under delivering season every year.
There you go. And before he used to have the crutch where, well, at least we win the Big 12. Well, you're not this year, so you didn't last year. So
who won it last year?
Oh no, my bad. They did win it last year.
How do you determine who wins the Big 12?
No, they didn't. They didn't win it last year because they were in the Cotton Bowl.
Kansas State.
Kansas State won it last year. Yeah.
How do you determine who wins the Big 12?
The best conference record,
so
and then tiebreakers and all that. They used to have a championship game, but now they don't.
Yeah, because they're idiots. All right.
No, it's not Trevor.
So now I got Oklahoma State here, but whatever. Texas versus Baylor, another Big 12 game. Who you got, Marquis?
Well, if Oklahoma beats Oklahoma State, this is for the Big 12 championship. Okay. And I don't think it'll come to that anyway. But I think Baylor's just a better team, and they're at home. They're getting guys back. You know, the O-line should be reasonably healthy during this game. At home, they've averaged 700 yards of total offense. Texas on the road has given up over 500 yards of total offense this year.
Quite the stat.
I got Baylor.
Phil?
I also got Baylor.
I got Baylor as well. I just don't trust Texas. Is Mac Brown safe again?
I don't know. I don't know, man. He's a hard dude to fire, I told you.
All right.
I would get rid of him, though. But that's
Next, we got Actually, I'm going to push that game down. Now we have the 4 main conference championship games. I'll go by order of importance. We have the SEC Championship Game, Missouri-Auburn, the ACC Championship Game, Duke-Florida State, the Big Ten Championship Game, Ohio State-Michigan State, and the Pac-12 Championship Game, Stanford-Arizona State. We'll start with the Pac-12 because that one seems to have the least national championship implications. Stanford-Arizona State, big guy. Who you got?
I forget dude's name, but Arizona State's running back will not be playing in this game. Nigga has almost 1,000 yards, and their backup has about 300 for the season. Think about that.
Wow.
Stanford eats spread offenses alive. We saw what happened to Oregon.
Yeah.
And Arizona State runs a poor man spread. So, I mean, I think this game is going to be low scoring because Arizona State also has one of the most disruptive defenses in college football. They get behind the line of scrimmage, make a lot of plays behind the line of scrimmage. You know, I think this will be they'll keep things interesting just because of the defense. Stanford's a better version of them, a better, more physical version of them. I got Stanford.
Phil.
I got Arizona State. I've been kind of what you could call a Stanford hater. I know they have a great defense, and I like Hogan on offense, but I just think that I like ASU. I like the receiver. I forgot his name. But yeah, I'm gonna go ASU in the upset here.
I'm marking that as a hero pick. I think that's fair, Marquis.
Well, no, because I know a lot of motherfuckers that been picking Arizona State.
Oh, come on, that's just
like seriously, like throughout the week, I've heard that a lot.
All right. I'm just saying that's pretty significant. Well, I was gonna pick Arizona State because I remember we were picking Arizona State and UCLA, and Markeem and Phil were like, "Oh, it's obviously UCLA," and I'm like, I don't know.
I did not. Hold on. Do not put fucking words in my mouth.
Shut up. I know more about UCLA than you do. So
I did not say that.
Markeem did pick UCLA, and I said, nah, without question, it's going to be Arizona State.
And then what did I say? I was like, I would not be shocked if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I was right. You were wrong. I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but tough. So
okay, nigga, you were, but don't make it seem like I said it's obvious. I did not say that.
You were wrong. Because Arizona State, every time I watch them, I'm just really impressed by them. And I was never impressed whenever I saw UCLA. I've been impressed twice when I've seen Stanford, against UCLA and against Oregon. And I just think, I just got to go with Stanford here. I just trust them more. I know it's in, why is the game in Arizona State? Why is it not on neutral location?
I do not remember.
So that does give me a little inclination, but I just trust Stanford more, so I'll pick Stanford.
I think that's just how the Pac-12 game works. I think
I
think they alternate each side. You know what I mean, like one conference gets the home game one year, the other conference gets the home game the next year, something like that.
Okay. So
something like that. I could be wrong, but
next we got. What's next? Next we have. Let's go with Duke and Florida State.
My heart wants to roll with Duke.
Wow.
I'm gonna be cheering for Duke. Oh my God! I tell y'all, I'm just gonna be on the edge of my seat for the Blue Devils, but not this weekend. Florida State. Jameis Winston is now absolved of all crime. I think he's gonna go nuts. I don't even think this is gonna be close. Pains me to say that, because Duke has been so formidable this year. You know, people still, there's a stigma that they're still a bad team, but those are the motherfuckers that don't watch college football. But like I said, man, I just think Florida State is way better. Jameis Winston knows he has a chance of immortality right now. I think they get it done pretty easily.
Phil?
What the hell are you doing?
The major upset in college football history. I am going with the Duke.
I don't know about history, but yeah, this would be an upset.
I'm going with Duke. Hero pick.
Yes, that is a hero pick.
Tend to provide any analysis behind that?
I think that I kind of agree with what you were saying a while back, that Florida State always seems to lose a game that they shouldn't lose. And I think that all this hype and all this distraction from Jameis Winston will get back to him. And guess what? This will just make the Heisman race even more confusing. Duke wins. Duke pulls the greatest upset off.
See, Phil, that's why I got to disagree with you on the distraction part, because it's been a distraction for a month. Jameis Winston's still been incredible.
Nah.
That's true.
All right, my turn. I'm going to steal Phil's hero pick.
I knew you were going to do that.
No, I was going to pick them all week. I had it written already. Hero pick.
That.
Big Red Duke beats Florida State. So I'm going to take it away from you, but I'll give some analysis as to why. Markeem, Florida. What do I have on my record? If you remember,
Florida State won't go undefeated.
Florida State won't go undefeated. Exactly. And if I have to pick them losing either this week or in the national championship game, I'm more inclined to pick this week. Why? Because the typical Florida State loss is not losing in a big game, even though that's happened. The typical Florida State loss is playing down to your opponent and losing to a team that you have no business losing to. And if you remember the Florida State team of last year, that's what they always did. They always
did it all the time, yeah.
They always play down to their opponent. And I guess, yes, Jameis Winston is fantastic and all this and that, but I think this Duke team is a better coached team, and I just think
I agree.
Florida State is going to play down to Duke's level this time, and I think Duke
agree.
I think Duke is going to pull just enough to win in a big, big upset, and I think this will be the week when everyone talks about how Florida State, with all the talent they have, just can never get the job done. It's a gut feeling, but on my record it says they will not lose a game this year. They will lose. They will not go undefeated. So if I had to pick right now or them against a top-ranked team that they're going to take very seriously, that they're going to work very seriously, or a Duke team that there's a decent chance that they don't take seriously, there's a decent chance that they undermined, and there's a decent chance that they keep Duke in the game for a while, I'm sticking with the Duke team because, I mean, they did it last week. That terrible Florida team, that first half, for the most part, they played down to Florida's level.
No, nigga. The first quarter, I watched that whole game.
The entire first quarter, and like half of the second quarter.
No, like
still,
5 minutes of the second quarter.
5 minute half is 7, so five instead of 7. It's very similar. But even in that Florida game, they did the same fucking shit. In the first quarter, they had no business.
Nigga,
no.
Did you really watch that game?
Yes, I did. Yes, I know that they fucking went on a tear towards the end. I know, I get it. I also saw them play Jordan Lynch in the Orange Bowl, where they went on an absolute tear in the fourth quarter and won like 37-10 or whatever it was.
Did you see the beginning where Jameis Winston was playing for the first time in the swamp and was not used to the noise? So they had miscues all over the offense.
Time out. He played in Death Valley, and you said the noise wouldn't bother him there.
Dog. That is not the swamp. Kid, have you ever been to the swamp?
I actually have never.
That is a total, like, don't get me wrong, Death Valley's nice, but that's a totally different breed of loud. It's like a totally different breed.
Fair enough. But
I've never seen you guys live. I've never been to what's the name? What's the Florida State field?
Oh, Doak Campbell Stadium.
Campbell. Never been to either one of those places live, but I have been to the swamp, and I can tell you that my head is still ringing from that place.
All right, I've been to Doak Campbell, so that place is pretty loud. Also, the swamp, that game, I don't know if it was as effective as the swamp in its prime. First off, and second off,
kid.
Okay,
yeah, you didn't watch. You must not have.
No. I did. Legitimately, I did. Shut it. Okay. Well, because all that shit always comes off loud on TV. I'm never there live, and I don't know if it was greater than Death Valley back in October. But either way, that's irrelevant from my point. Someone has said this. I think it's Chris Kaufman, and I fully agree with him. Whenever something is quote unquote the biggest spread of the season, always go against it. Always. He said this after the Broncos game when the Broncos were favored by like 29.
I agree with that. This spread on this game is kind of stupid. I think it's like 21 points or something like that.
I just think this Duke
team...
Kind
of stupid.
Look, this FSU team, I just don't think takes their competition that seriously. They kick their ass, but I don't think they take them seriously. And it's one thing when you're playing shitty teams, like when they play hangman on the sideline and all this and that. It's one thing when you're playing terrible teams. Now you're playing a tough team who I think FSU is going to think is just another bad ACC team. And I think that Duke pulls a surprise. Don't get me wrong, I don't have exactly a lot of confidence in this pick. But if I'm staying true to what's on my record, I must go with Duke here because I just have more confidence in them winning here.
All right, kid, I have to ask you. See, I get Phil's pick, but I have to ask you to see if your intentions are pure. If this jersey did not say Florida State, personnel was the same, coaching was the same, would you be picking Duke right now?
I would.
I don't believe you, but let's go.
No, see, that's not fair. You can't ask me a question and because you don't like my answer, just say, okay, well, you're wrong, and let's go.
No, I didn't say you're wrong. I just said I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Your yes was not genuine.
My criticisms have nothing to do with Florida, the Florida State brand. It has more to do with Jimbo. It's always all season. Yeah. All season, I've been saying this. This is nothing new.
Fan, and these niggas are like Satan to you. I do know that.
No. Honestly, this is. I love Jameis. First of all, I love Jameis Winston, and I have extreme confidence and trust in a quarterback like him. But honestly, I just think this is when more college football magic happens. I called it last week. If we did this show last week, I would have told you all that Auburn was going to beat Alabama, and that happened.
I don't believe you either, but let's go.
You don't believe me that I picked... Really? Me, the Bama hater? The guy that...
Well, okay, yeah. Okay.
Shut up.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah,
Shut up,
I can see
that. I just think this is where magic happens. I think this is when FSU is not going to take them as seriously as they should, and I just think Duke would surprise them. And I've seen this Duke team play. I've seen this FSU team play.
I'm not saying it's inconceivable. I'm just saying it's not likely.
I don't think it is either, but I'm sticking with my pick. I'm picking Duke. And if they do win, I'm going to give you a tongue lashing on this show next week. I'm just saying that much.
What kind of tongue lashing? I just said it's not inconceivable.
Oh, yeah. It ain't likely. You're questioning my intentions and my motives.
I'm questioning your integrity. But
okay, no, I'm going to rip you next week if they win. But
okay, fine, but I'm not questioning Duke because I was the one saying all year this is good.
Shut up. You can't go both ways.
Nigga.
You can't have it both ways.
I'm questioning you. Like when Phil made the pick, I was like, okay, fine. This is you, Mr. UM, Mr. Florida State killed our season. Florida State is the right.
But I've been saying this stuff about Florida State all year. This has nothing to do. Them beating us did not in any way change my opinions I was saying about them before that game, and you know that to be a fact.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you did pick Maryland to beat them and shit. Yeah, okay, never mind. You are right. I forgot all about that. Yeah.
All right.
Inconceivable. That was a week I wasn't here, right? You picked Maryland and you picked West Virginia. Like the West Virginia game legit made me just laugh out loud. I was like, what the hell is he doing?
Well, listen, I'm sticking with the courage of my convictions. And remember, I've seen this Duke team play against UM, and I've seen this Florida State team play against UM. And, I mean, it wasn't that much. It honestly wasn't that big of a. It's obviously a big talent difference. It wasn't that big of a domination difference between the two. Yeah, FSU won by more, but Duke put up more points. And the FSU game, I thought at least, that the size of their lead had more to do with our fuck-ups. Yes, they were very talented, but I think our 2 interceptions and our failure to convert on fourth and goal and Duke Johnson's injury, I think that had a lot more to do with them winning by 27. Whereas Duke winning by 18, they just outclassed us on both sides of the ball. And there's nothing we could do about it. So I've seen both these teams play. I've seen tape of both. And I just think Florida State doesn't realize that the talent difference between these teams there's a difference, but I think Florida State thinks it's a lot bigger than what it actually is. And I trust Duke's coach more than I trust FSU's coach. So, yeah. Next we got Ohio State versus Michigan State. All right, Markeem, I've been waiting all week for this one.
Everybody thinks I'm going to do something. And you are correct. I got Michigan State in this game. You thought I was going to go the other way? No. I've been watching this defense all year. These niggas get after the quarterback. Braxton Miller going to get fucked up. They cover receivers. Like, there's no weak point in this defense. The only problem is, can they score? And I think they'll score enough to be Ohio State's sometimes suspect defense. You know what I mean? Braxton Miller got his work cut out for him, though. I hate picking against Urban Meyer because he's an amazing coach. But I just think this defense is incredible. They're leaps and bounds the best in the Big Ten. And I think they really show up this week because they're on a national stage and want the whole nation to see what they can do. I think they're going to win a close game. I really do. And they throw everything in flux.
Phil.
Go ahead, kid. Go ahead.
All right.
I don't know what Phil is.
I don't know. All year I had Michigan State winning this game, but all year, even when Ohio State won last week, I was like, oh, they're losing to Michigan State. But the past few days, I don't know. I can't explain it. I just think that Urban Meyer is going to pull a rabbit out of his hat. And you're right, this Michigan State team can't score. I've seen this team play. I saw them play against Notre Dame, and I saw a little bit of their game against Michigan. And I'm definitely not impressed with their offense at all. They can't score. And they've been able to stop. I mean, this should be mentioned, Markeem. They really haven't played many offenses that have lit the world on fire this year. I mean...
Michigan? Michigan averaged about 30 points a game.
I wouldn't call Michigan an out-of-this-world offense when that offensive line is just pitiful.
Okay, they played. You gotta get there. They didn't play Wisconsin, so never mind. But
no, I'm looking at their schedule right now. They played Minnesota, Northwestern, Nebraska, Michigan, Illinois, Purdue, Indiana, Iowa, Notre Dame, Youngstown State, South Florida, and Western Michigan.
Western Michigan got a good offense. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I see your point.
Michigan has no offensive line. Like, I saw them against Nebraska. Michigan could not pass protect at all against Nebraska. So it doesn't surprise me that Michigan State could put a whipping on them. They haven't really played anybody the caliber of Carlos Hyde, of Braxton Miller. And I just think Urban Meyer, I hate the son of a bitch, but he's one of the best coaches of all time for a reason. He finds ways to get it done. And I just think this week, in a tough game, in a tight spot, he just finds a way to get it done. I can't explain it. I honestly can't. But I just...
No, you just did.
Yeah. I just trust Urban Meyer.
Come on, kid, give yourself a little bit of credit when you're being objective and giving actual commentary.
Oh my God, suck a dick, Phil.
I got Michigan State.
You're what?
I got Michigan State.
You got Michigan State? Okay. Do I get a hero pick for picking Ohio State?
No.
A hero pick for picking the number 2 team in the country?
Markeem.
Yeah.
I heard something about if Braxton Miller was able to win, if Ohio State won, Braxton Miller would be a Heisman candidate. What do you think?
This game? No. Well, he shouldn't be in New York, but I can see someone saying that.
How's he played this? How are his numbers this year?
They're damn good. It's just he had that stretch where he was hurt for a bit. That's what kind of hurts him.
Like, yeah, I think it's just tough to give him, the Heisman candidacy.
But one more thing I want to add. We don't have it on here because I know they're not going to pick. But tomorrow is the MAC championship. Northern Illinois and Bowling Green. This game has major implications because Northern Illinois is in a position to get another at-large BCS berth. And that team last year, Jordan Lynch is a phenomenal player. I think he should be in New York, nominated for Heisman, all that stuff. But against physical defenses, that come at him and cause problems, and hone into him to where he has to actually, he has tight windows to throw into, and he's getting chased around. And in physical, he struggles. He's played one defense like this before, and you saw what happened. He's playing another one like this again on Friday, or tomorrow, or today, actually. I think they lose. I think Bowling Green actually pulls the upset and beats them. And
can't hear you, Markeem. Markeem, can't hear you.
Yeah.
Can't hear you. Say that again.
What's the last thing you heard?
I think they pull off the upset, and
oh yeah, there's a lot of teams on the outside looking in the Power Six that want to get where Northern Illinois will be. So everybody's cheering for them to lose on the outside looking in. And I just think they're physical. I think they're enough to cause Jordan Lynch problems. He's a special player, and special players do special things. But I think they're in position to actually win this game. I think they win this game. I think they win an amazing game, so y'all might want to watch.
Okay. Well, college football sucks. Why would I watch this? But fine. Fair enough.
Whatever.
Bowling Green knocks out Jordan Lynch in Northern Illinois, and that gives what? UCF an at-large bid?
UCF will get an automatic bid, I think. And then
why? For winning
the American Conference. That right now. That's the equivalent of the
Louisville
of the Big East. Yeah. So.
Huh. That's it. That should be interesting.
Something like that. I could be wrong. Let me look that up.
Louisville, by the way, is confirmed to play in the Russell Athletic Bowl, which very well may be where the Miami Hurricanes play.
That'd be a hell of a game.
Oh yeah, I'd be excited for that one. All right, so finally we have the SEC Championship Game. Missouri, Auburn, the Cinderella story of both teams. Phil, I'll go to you first. Who do you have here?
I hope they both. Oh my god. I hope they both explode and somehow the Gamecocks get better than the SEC. Anyways, no, I'm just kidding. I got Auburn. I just can't. I'm not betting against that team. Not doing it. Not doing it for nothing. Not picking against them. I'm not saying I think Missouri's probably overall the better team and they're on a better roll.
That's debatable.
Well, not a fully, luck roll kind of thing. Even though Auburn has hanged with team and just pulled it out of the end, but I just gotta go with Auburn.
Damn it, Phil.
Sorry.
Markeem?
This is a tough game for me, man. This is a huge game. A huge game. They do not have the Iron Bowl crowd and that special environment behind them. I mean, let's just call it what it is. I'm not 100% sure it goes down like this. But I think that Missouri, just by them being older, with them having a senior quarterback in there, all that stuff, I think that makes the difference, and I think they get it done. And they beat Auburn, but Auburn looks like a team of destiny, especially after the Bama game, especially after the Georgia game. Yeah. I think the same can be said about Missouri, though, because nobody expected this. We were all wrong. Everyone that said they picked this to happen, they're all lying. Like, there's no way around it. They're just lying to you. Like I said, though, I got Missouri, but this is going to be a hell of a game. Hell of a game.
I've got Auburn only because, we've said this before that both coaches are amazing, but you really just can't go against Auburn right now. I mean, good Lord. The past 2 weeks have been magical. No other way to say it. Magical. And yeah, I know Missouri's defense is elite, but isn't Bama's also elite?
Of course.
Yeah, and Auburn.
I think it goes beyond. I think it's just going to come down to experience in this game, I think.
Missouri
what
and Missouri has more seniors.
Yeah.
That could be true, but
Like Auburn doesn't know any better at this point.
yeah,
They're just
true.
a bunch of young kids, you know what I mean? They just don't know any better. They don't know they're not supposed to be here. Missouri does know they're not supposed to be here.
Gus Malzahn, I just think has been doing amazing stuff. With I just go back to that Bama game. Bama was so clearly the more talented team of the two, and Bama also has a lot of seniors. And Bama was so clearly the more talented team, and Auburn won the game.
But as I said, this is also a battle for head coach of the year. Fucking Gary Pink, the winner of this game will win that award in most places. I promise you.
Yeah, most likely. I personally I've seen Missouri play, and I saw them kill Florida, and I saw them play against Texas A&M. Obviously, I know they're a good team, but it just seems like this is Auburn's destiny, and I got Auburn here. So, according to your picks, are you saying there's going to be an FSU Missouri national championship game?
Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Wow. What are
Go ahead and get mad because the SEC will be back in the national championship game.
And they'll win because FSU sucks dick. Well, Markeem has Missouri, FSU. I have Auburn, Ohio State as my national championship game. So, should be interesting. Should it not?
Yeah.
What are the odds that Alabama jumps Missouri?
If Florida State
And I know Florida State and Ohio. And let's presume that either one of Florida State and Ohio State win.
Okay. Impossible.
Really? Because I know they're ranked ahead of them now, but that's before.
Because Missouri will have another week, and they'll have a game over Alabama. They'll have a win against a top 10 team the last week of the season, and Bama just they don't even play. So
okay, so but if Ohio State and FSU both lose, that'd be different.
It's a double SEC championship game.
Just when we thought we were clear of SEC.
Yeah, it's gonna be the winner of Auburn and Missouri and Alabama.
Wow.
Everyone will be mad.
This should be it. This is why this is the biggest week of the season for college football. Should be interesting. All right. With that, we are done. Thank you all for listening to this marathon of a podcast, but we hope you enjoyed it. A lot of good commentary here. We are out. Goodbye.
I love trolling you, man.
I haven't stopped recording yet.
I don't care. I love trolling you, man. It's the best.
You suck. Goodbye, everyone. And Andrew Luck fucking blows.